So I've got Christopher Abbott here with. We're introduced to the lovely Norwegian talent here that we don't really know too well. Gitte Witt. Gitte Witt. Gitte. Pleasure meeting you both. Christopher, this is not the first time we've seen you. We've seen you. We saw you in South by Southwest last year. We saw you in a cool short with Josh Mann. We'll get back to that. So, all right, nice to see you guys paired up. Very awkward, very cesspool-y type film. There's some bold choices in terms of location, in terms of wardrobe, in terms of damaged material. Could you tell me how the choice in location, the choice in clothing informed your characters? How did it help you get into?
Well, that house, the script was written around that house.
Okay.
Mona had. I forgot how she found it, but she shot this kind of short film with Gitte and.
She found it actually by accident. Because we didn't get another house, and then Steph's parents-in-law owned that house.
Right.
So.
Well, but she shot a kind of a short piece there, and then the script was developed around the house.
Okay.
So it's like the house came first, essentially, and then the story kind of lent itself to it. And then what was the second question?
Clothing, because and I know, I have an idea of what Mona's trying to do here, but I mean the sisters are dressed in they're little 90s, if you will. Brady's character Ira is very. It shows that there's a class differentiation. There's a lot of struggles without even without a lot of dialogue being said.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really interesting choice. So I was wondering how that helped you fledge out your characters even more.
Well, like the script, I mean, is purposely written, I think especially for the men in the film, as like the men are these cliches, and they're kind of supposed to be. And then by the end of the film, they're kind of, not that they're flipped on their head, but they come out in the end as something different from the beginning. But they're supposed to be kind of these iconic, these iconic characters in the sense like you can tell right away who that dude is. Like when you see me, you see me working, you see
the gray sweatshirt.
And then when Brady shows up, he's obviously almost the polar opposite. And it's meant to be that way because of the dichotomy of the film. It's kind of has this blueprint type map to it.
Yeah.
And it's like. And it's something I always found.
It's very chiseled.
With these two girls who are these sisters, and as far as like nurture goes, they've had the same nurture, and it's how they've then chosen these two very opposite men in their life to to fulfill any holes in that they need.
Yeah, no, you're saying you're saying it well, but no.
I almost said something kind of you can take that the wrong way, but you know what I mean. They. Yeah.
It developed. No, it's.
Take my panties off.
So what? They're staying?
This is where she grew up. She has the right to stay.
Gitte, you play the titular character, the protagonist, and she's very much like the matriarch of the situation. She's taking care of everybody.
Yes.
She's assessing. She's damage controlling at every frame. So I was wondering. Is this something that Mona? Is this a characteristic that the Norwegians have, or something like this? Like I don't know. Well,
there's definitely parts of me that are like that Mona knows, and at the same time, she thought it was very interesting to have this girl who has that kind of a. Yeah, she deletes herself, if you can say it in English, by taking care of everyone around, and then kind of disappearing herself. At the same time, she. Which is also because of how her sister were growing up. You take on certain roles, and that became her role. She was the straight one, so she took care of everyone else, and
she cleans up messes.
Exactly, and as long as she's living with Andrew, they have found their way of living that's working really well. And but the moment someone else is coming in and kind of starting to
disruption.
Then a lot of stuff gets revealed, and. She has to go through a lot of stuff from her past and maybe confront herself with why she's the way she is,
So you kind of have this kind of displaced Norwegian quality happening, just because of the scene where she's banging you're banging on the wall and listening to the super Norwegian death metal. You know, you get all these like little hints of like their history and their past and who they were. It's really in these unique kind of ways.
Yeah, it's a pivotal little scene. I wasn't thinking about that.
That's a Norwegian song.
There's a great sequence. It's the table sequence, and it's an eloquent display of power dynamics, of class distinctions, and I wrote down an eloquent cesspool. I was wondering, how did that play out? Like, it's really interesting because you hear the conversations being told, but the frame remains on certain characters, and you have to flesh out certain emotions based on what the other people are saying. And I thought that was a really interesting aesthetic choice, but also oral choice. How did that play out for you guys?
Well, it has, that's the way that scene is. It kind of has this way of like taking you out of it and then bringing you in as you get used to it. Because the camera just is like, it's almost as if it's on a timer. It kind of rotates from person to person. So no matter, and the way they edited it, they try to pick the good points to be on certain people. Like to be on Brady after I tell the story.
The lacrosse player.
And it's interesting to hear him talk and then see, but you're focusing on Brady's reactions. That was a very specific choice that they wanted for that scene.
Yeah, but it's all like quite meticulous.
Yeah, it is.
And then it punches out to the wide, kind of right when you're just starting to get used to it, and then you come back in again, and you kind of keep going by the same rotation. It's like, it's one of my favorite scenes in the
I was.
I don't know what she told you, but she has a hard time separating her fictions from realities.
You're a bad kid like me, weren't you, Andrew?
It's purposely supposed to be kind of left open in that way. But everything, it may be small, but everything that you need to know about, about them, about kind of what happens, it's in there. It's in there in kind of like small little doses, little red flags here and there that are kind of thrown up. But like as far as the ending specifically, it's quite ominous in that way.
And how was that?
As an audience member, I guess having not been in the film, I would come up with my own, But yeah, I think it's quite clear.
Yeah, and of course we knew what we thought was going on while we were shooting.
Film, so I was really happy to hear that it was in the trades. Not even 3 weeks ago or something. Yep. So, Josh Mann, feature film, must have been a blast. Your second time collaborating with him, actually third time if you include Martha, Marcy May, Marlene. How was that shoot for you?
Good. I mean, we actually just really ended it in Mexico like 10 days ago.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mean this in a pretentious way of speaking for myself, but it feels like I don't think there's anyone else that really could have done that part. It's the script and everything is quite close to Josh, and he had a balance of drawing on some experiences, but also some fabrications, of course. But just in terms of our rapport that we already kind of had as friends and working partners already, I think really helped.
Cool.
Really helped along. Cool. And Antonio and Sean were there, the whole time, just like for Sean's movie. Antonio and Josh were there the whole time. It's all super collaborative. I mean, we all, it's a very tight knit family.
It was about time that he got going on this one. And I'll end on Gitte. We're just getting a sense of who you are. If you don't know Norwegian cinema necessarily, or like where are you headed? I know that you are slowly getting into international work, I believe, not only with the Sleepwalker, but you recently worked on another project.
I studied in New York.
Okay.
And lived here for like 3 years.
Okay.
And then I moved back, and so I'm based in Oslo. But I've been working a little bit around since then. Might continue to do that.
Okay.
But yeah.
After tomorrow.